Ever wonder about the tiniest, most overlooked machines that scoop and stack hay bales? In this video, we're counting down 10 smallest hay bale pickers you didn't know about, celebrating the humble workhorses that made life easier for countless farmers. Let's jump right in and rediscover these hidden gems. Number 10. New Holland Model 1002 Automatic Bale Wagon. The New Holland Model 1002. Automatic bale wagon is a fine example of compact engineering from the 1960s, built when Sperry New Holland was experimenting with ways to ease the backbreaking labor of handling small square bales. The 1002 quickly earned a reputation for its modest size and straightforward operation. With a capacity of around 55 small square bales, it was explicitly designed for smaller farms that couldn't justify the cost or space of the larger bale wagons. This made it a popular choice for producers looking to modernize without breaking the bank or overhauling their entire equipment fleet. Farmers appreciated how the 1002 seamlessly picked up bales off the ground and stacked them neatly on the wagon deck. In essence, it turned what used to be an hours-long chore for a work crew into a single operator task. Whether it was pulled by a modest tractor or a mid-range farm machine, it didn't require tremendous horsepower, just a well-tuned hydraulic system to power the loader arm that guided each bale onto the rack. Once the wagon was full, the entire load could be conveniently offloaded in a tidy stack back at the barn. Looking back on those days, there's a sense of nostalgia tied to the New Holland 1002. It arrived in a period when rural America was rapidly changing, farms were diversifying, and the demand for efficient, smaller-scale technology was rising. For many, the 1002 stands as a testament to New Holland's innovative approach, proving that farm equipment didn't always have to be massive to get the job done. It carries a legacy of efficiency and reliability that helped encourage countless farmers to adopt automated bale handling, forever altering hay harvest routines across the nation. Number 9. John Deere Model 200 Stack Wagon. John Deere's foray into hay handling equipment is well documented, yet the Model 200 Stack Wagon often flies under the radar. Introduced in the 1970s, it was part of Deere's broader push to streamline post-baling procedures. While not as common as the more famous John Deere balers or rakes, the 200 Stack Wagon provided a neat solution for farms where traditional bale wagons felt too bulky. This wagon's claim to fame was its ability to gather and transport small stacks of square bales, rather than focusing on large round ones or loose stacks. With its compact frame, it maneuvered with surprising ease through tighter fields and smaller farm lanes. It was never meant to handle massive acreage, but for operators with moderate fields, it struck a satisfying balance between capacity and agility. One aspect that garnered praise was its stacking mechanism. By using a chain-driven pickup that scooped bales and guided them onto the platform, it minimized the manual labor required to gather hay in the field. Historically, bale stacking was an art form unto itself, with crews laboring under hot sun, but the Model 200 helped reduce that backbreaking effort. While not as widely produced as some of John Deere's iconic tractors, it left a distinct mark on the era by giving smaller farm operations a helpful new option. Culturally, John Deere's brand recognition played a part in popularizing the concept of automated bale retrieval. Even if the 200 itself wasn't the largest volume seller, it represented an era when farmers realized they could downsize their equipment without sacrificing performance. For those seeking a smaller, more specialized tool, the John Deere Model 200 Stack Wagon ticked a lot of boxes. It remains a quiet piece of history that underscores how even the biggest brands in agriculture recognize the importance of designing machines for niche farm needs. Before we move on to the next one in the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Thanks to all of you who do. Number 8. EZ Trail Bale Basket. Moving into the later 1970s, small-scale hay handling solutions continued to evolve, and the EZ Trail Bale Basket became a beloved fixture in certain regions. Unlike some of the larger automated wagons of its time, the EZ Trail system was comparatively simple in design. effectively pairing with small square balers to catch and store bales on the go. While not a fully mechanized picker in the same sense as the bale wagons, it still captured bales from a baler thrower and eliminated a good chunk of manual labor. The idea behind the EZ Trail bale basket was to gather the bales as they were ejected by the baler, letting gravity and a few guiding rails do most of the work. No additional hydraulics, PTO shafts, or complicated chain assemblies. This minimalist approach resonated with farmers who appreciated low-maintenance equipment. Because it was smaller and lighter than typical bale wagons, it could be pulled with moderate horsepower tractors, making it ideal for those who didn't have the most robust setups. Historically, the EZ Trail brand made a name for itself through wagons and running gears, but the bale basket was a notable highlight for smaller operations. While it may not have had the sophisticated stacking features of more automated machines, its reliability and cost-effectiveness meant it was often the first move away from handling bales by hand. In essence, it bridged the gap between purely manual labor and the high-end, highly mechanized bale stackers. During the 1980s, as American farms faced varying economic pressures, the affordability and simplicity of the EZ Trail bale basket gave it a certain cult following. Many farmers still remember hooking up that basket, running a mid-sized baler, and marveling at how neatly everything stacked up without needing a big bale wagon or an extra set of hands on the wagon. Although overshadowed by more famous brands, it occupies a nostalgic corner in the hearts of those who used it. Number 7. Snowco Bale Loader. The Snowco Bale Loader took simplicity a step further in the 1960s by providing a specialized conveyor-like attachment that latched onto a wagon and lifted small square bales from the ground onto the wagon bed. Snowco, though not a household name across the nation, had a dedicated following among farmers who preferred low-fuss solutions that didn't require extensive hydraulic systems or large investments. If you could drive the wagon beside the windrows or along a row of dropped bales, the Snowco did the grunt work of elevating each bale. At its core, the Snowco Bale Loader featured a small engine or PTO-powered conveyor chain and a set of tines that grabbed the bale as it moved along the ground, carrying it upward. Once the bale reached the top, it slid onto the wagon floor, ready for manual stacking. While it didn't automate stacking, it eliminated the need for constantly bending over to pick up bales, an enormous relief for tired backs. Its presence in farmyards was fairly common in areas where labor shortages were an issue, or where folks just wanted to save time and strain. For many older farmers, the Snowco remains a vivid memory of modern convenience, marking a transition from purely manual picking. It wasn't complicated to operate, and it required modest horsepower, so it fits seamlessly into a variety of farm setups. Though overshadowed by fully automated bale wagons in later years, the Snowco Bale Loader demonstrated that you didn't need an enormous piece of machinery to solve a big workload problem. In an era when every minute saved in the field counted, having a device that could hoist bales from ground level was nothing short of revolutionary for a smaller scale operation. Today, if you come across one at a farm auction, you'll likely see a few nostalgic smiles from those who remember its heyday. Number 6. Nordan Manufacturing 10-Bale Edge Accumulator. Nordan Manufacturing jumped into the accumulator market with a mission to help smaller farm operations manage square bales more efficiently, and their 10-Bale Edge Accumulator quickly became a standout option. Designed to be pulled directly behind a baler, this system gathers small square bales on their edges in groups of 10. By the time the bales exit the baler and pass through the chute, the accumulator has arranged them in a neat stackable pack that can be easily lifted with a corresponding grapple. What sets the Nordan 10-Bale Edge Accumulator apart is the way it maximizes space by orienting bales on their sides instead of flat. This configuration not only makes them more stable during handling, but also eases the transition from field to barn, since the group bales are less likely to tip over. Meanwhile, Nordan Manufacturing built its reputation on dependable steel construction and hydraulic systems that don't require constant tinkering, a hallmark that appealed to farmers wanting to spend more time baling and less time adjusting equipment. Historically, the Nordan system reflects a broader wave of innovation in the late 20th century, as accumulators gained ground among smaller producers. While large-scale farms had long since embraced fully automated bale wagons, many mid-sized or family-run operations still relied on manual labor until accumulators like Nordan's came along. By cutting down on the manpower needed, these devices opened up the possibility of handling larger volumes of hay with fewer hands, all without a massive investment in bigger wagons. Among the farmers who embraced the Nordan 10-bale edge accumulator, loyalty was high, thanks in part to the company's commitment to customer service and customizable add-ons. Over time, its user base praised how the accumulator consistently produced tight, uniform packs of bales that stacked nicely. Though newer systems have arrived on the scene since, Nordan's offering remains a beloved example of how simple, sturdy engineering can reshape an entire workflow. Number 5. Stefan Systems Model 950 Bale Accumulator. Stefan Systems, founded in Oregon, carved a niche in bale handling equipment by focusing on innovations that help smaller-scale producers. Among their lineup, the Model 950 Bale Accumulator proved particularly effective, offering a design that worked in harmony with standard small square balers. It used a combination of belt conveyors and mechanical gates to receive each bale, position it in a tight grouping, and then release that cluster onto the field, all without an extra operator riding along. By the late 20th century, many producers recognized that time and labor shortages were increasingly pressing issues. The Stefan Systems Model 950 capitalized on this need by drastically streamlining the job. Instead of a crew walking behind a baler or loading a wagon by hand, a single operator could bale and accumulate simultaneously. Once the bales were arranged on the field in these ready-made packs, a front-end loader or skid steer with a grapple could gather them in fewer trips. Technically, the Model 950 reflected Stefan Systems' attention to detail. From sturdy steel frames to carefully adjusted guide rails, it was built for longevity and minimal downtime. Farmers often praised its user-friendliness, noting how straightforward the adjustments were, an important feature when handling bales of slightly varying size or weight. Because of its compact dimensions, it was also feasible to navigate smaller fields and farm lanes. On a cultural and practical level, the Stefan Systems Model 950 symbolized an ongoing shift toward mechanization that honored the reality of family-owned farms. Operators who wanted to remain in the small square bale market, often prized by horse owners and local feed stores, could stay competitive without employing large teams of laborers. In a sense, the Model 950 encapsulates what Stefan Systems does best, delivering efficient solutions that balance capacity with affordability. All while keeping the machinery manageable for a wide range of farm sizes. Number 4. Jaden Small Bale Accumulator. Replacing manual loading with a compact edge accumulator, the Jaden Small Bale Accumulator emerged in the late 20th century as a specialized solution for farms looking to reduce labor costs. Jaden, originally based in Australia, recognized that many operators were struggling to move and stack small square bales without a full workforce. Their accumulator tackled the problem by automatically grouping bales as they exited the baler, arranging them in a neat pattern that could then be picked up with a matching grapple. Though Jaden's brand may not be as familiar in American farm circles as some US-based manufacturers, the system drew praise for its sturdy construction and efficiency. By leveraging mechanical triggers and simple hydraulic controls, the Jaden Small Bale Accumulator could handle a variety of bale sizes, keeping them secure even when the ground was uneven or the baler speed varied. The design minimized the risk of bales toppling over during transport and made subsequent handling with a loader far easier. Historically, accumulators played a pivotal role in cutting down manual labor requirements, and Jaden's offering was a testament to how global competition pushed manufacturers to innovate for smaller-scale markets. Operators who invested in the Jaden often reported that it fit seamlessly into existing setups, needing only modest adjustments to the baler or tractor. Beyond saving time, it helped some family-run farms remain viable in an era when labor was becoming harder to find. Although Jaden's accumulators remain more common in regions where they originated, American farmers who discovered them appreciated their reliability and the simple design that seldom required extensive maintenance. Over time, the system earned a devoted following among those who needed a compact but powerful approach to grouping hay bales. The Jadon small bale accumulator thus stands as an international success story that redefined how modest operations handled the busiest days of hay season. Number 3. Farm King 2450 Bale Carrier. Farm King, known for a wide range of agricultural implements, introduced the 2450 bale carrier in the late 20th century to fill the gap for smaller operations seeking a cost-effective automated system. The 2450 functions similarly to a bale wagon, but in a scaled-down form, designed to pick up round bales directly from the field and stack them onto its platform. Once loaded, it could transport the bales and unload them neatly, saving farmers the trouble of multiple handling steps. What set the Farm King 2450 apart was how it balanced size and capacity. It didn't tower over fields or require massive horsepower, but it still could carry a respectable load of round bales. One operator, one tractor, and one pass was often enough to gather the day's worth of baling. For folks running family farms or those in specialized hay businesses who sold small bales for horses or other niche markets, this was a significant labor saver. Historically, the 2450 was part of a wave of equipment that recognized not everyone wanted or needed the giant, high-capacity machines that large-scale producers bought. While certain brand names were associated with massive fields out west, Farm King carved out a niche catering to smaller farms across the country, including the Midwest and East Coast. The 2450 became known for being relatively straightforward to maintain. Fewer complex electronics, sturdy mechanical parts, and a design that emphasized reliability. Farm King's approach had a cultural undercurrent too. It helped sustain smaller family-run hay operations during a time when consolidation was sweeping through agriculture. By providing an efficient tool, the 2450 bale carrier let these farms remain competitive in the market for round bales, serving horse enthusiasts, small livestock owners, and local feed stores. Though never as widespread as some mainstream offerings, the Farm King 2450 has earned a nostalgic spot in the hearts of many American farmers who remember how it turned long days of loading bales into a more manageable routine. Number 2, Allied Freeman Model 200 Bale Wagon. Allied, the parent company behind the Freeman brand, introduced the Model 200 Bale Wagon as a smaller-scale solution in the 1970s. Freeman machinery, often recognized for its rugged construction, had already made a name in bale-airs and hay-handling equipment. The Model 200 was their push into an automatic bale retrieval system that catered to farmers who found the bigger wagons excessive for their fields. Compact yet robust, the Model 200 used a combination of mechanical and hydraulic components to pick up bales and stack them onto a deck. Although it shared a conceptual similarity with the more famous New Holland series, the Freeman 200 carved its own identity by focusing on reliability and simplicity. Engineered to handle daily usage without demanding complicated maintenance, it fit nicely into a medium-sized operation looking for an automated approach. In terms of cultural and industry impact, the Freeman name was already trusted by many who used Freeman balers. So when the Model 200 bale wagon arrived, it was welcomed by brand loyalists seeking a consistent hay system across baling and retrieval. Its introduction reflects a broader shift of the 1970s. As labor became less readily available, machinery that could automate bale handling became more essential. The Model 200 managed to strike a chord by being approachable for smaller budgets without sacrificing build quality. Even today, mentions of the Allied Freeman 200 pop up in discussions among hay producers. Some folks have lovingly refurbished these wagons, testifying to their sturdy frames and mechanical reliability. While it may not carry the household recognition of a John Deere or a New Holland product, it remains a symbol of a time when multiple manufacturers vied to provide sensible, scaled-down solutions for farms of varying sizes. For many, that distinct green and white wagon rolling across the field is a cherished memory of how small machinery could still make a big difference. Number 1. New Holland Model 1010 Bale Wagon. Topping this list is yet another contribution from New Holland, the Model 1010 Bale wagon. Introduced in the mid to late 1960s, this machine built on the success of earlier 1000 series wagons but came in an even more compact package. With a capacity hovering around 56 bales, it showcased how New Holland aimed to cover the entire spectrum of farm sizes. Indeed, if you needed an automatic system but didn't deal in massive acreage, the 1010 promised a practical, no-frills answer. The pickup mechanism was similar to its siblings, a rolling bed and an angled bale scoop that lifted each square bale off the field and guided it onto the load rack. Once full, it followed a simple hydraulic process to offload the stack in a neat block. Because of its reduced size, it demanded less horsepower, and that made it appealing to smaller-scale operators or those with older tractors that couldn't comfortably pull the bigger rigs. From a historical standpoint, the New Holland 1010 was part of a strategic move to dominate the bale wagon market. They realized early on that not everyone needed the huge capacity wagons often advertised in glossy farm magazines. By offering a smaller version, they captured a broader audience, particularly in regions with smaller fields or where terrain demanded more agile equipment. In doing so, they cemented their reputation as a company devoted to making hay harvests more efficient for all types of farms. Culturally, the 1010 stands as a reminder of an era when mechanical ingenuity was blossoming across rural America. Farmers who'd battled scorching summers, stacking hay by hand, suddenly had a tool that saved time, sweat, and potential injury. Over the decades, the 1010 has earned a warm place in the hearts of those who used it. At farm auctions or on classifieds today, you might still see them pop up, often praised for their longevity and reliability. For a machine that quietly revolutionized small farm bale handling, the New Holland 1010 is a fitting number one on this list of the smallest, but by no means least impressive, hay bale pickers. We've reached the end of our journey through some of the smallest and most intriguing hay bale pickers from the 1900s. Though petite in size, these machines carried big responsibilities, transforming grueling manual labor into efficient, single-operator tasks. Nostalgia aside, their legacy continues to inspire modern innovations that lighten the load for farmers everywhere. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a story on American farm life. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.